Ever missed a black flag? Forgotten what gear you're in? Rollins Sim Control has a fix for that. We provide drivers with a unique LED flag and gear indicator box that provides drivers more visual awareness even during their toughest of races. Our SC makes a variety of flight controls and button boxes as well. Find out more at etsy.com/shop/Rollins Sim Controls. Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here at Southern Broadcast Racing Network. We are live. We've got about 8 minutes to go in the SlingShot Racing League as they are taking it for 200 laps at the last great Coliseum. There's going to be some door banging, some tempers flaring, and probably a lot of people not going to finish this race. I am your host tonight, Jeremy Robbins, as Richard is not with us, but I do have the guy who is like a iRacing encyclopedia, Mr. Joe Robert, with us. Joe, how are we looking tonight for Bristol?
Well, this is a track where you are going to have multiple grooves of racing, I believe, being able to be formed. I'm seeing a lot of guys in the practices taking the high line, but you're going to have a lot of close racing, and you're probably going to have a few rivalries heat up, but we're going to see if Justin Wilson can get a fourth win today. He is at the top of the table, unsurprisingly, for practice. He's the only one to clock in a sub at 15.9.
And you know what's wild about that is he That's the practice. When we get to racing, you're gonna have about 26 other cars out there that they're gonna be getting in your way, and they may be putting you down.
Well, I'll tell you that, but you know what? Being in first is definitely something you want to do. I remember we were running next gen cars, and even with brand new tires, it was a little bit difficult to pass because you can get such a run off the corner. Now, these cars are not the same as next gen cars. If we take a look at Justin running right now, he's kind of running it down low, pulling it back up to the top, and looks like he's running about middle lane right now. But probably not going to be the line you're going to be running to save tires. But that is a 16.98, which is only 2/10 off of his fast time, and only about a tenth off what fourth place did. So that's still a pretty fast line right there. Probably a qualifying line.
Yeah, and we can't forget the first and fourth place there, Mr. Wilson and Sox. They've had their run-ins, and you know what? Bristol is the place you can kind of duke it out and get by with it because it's Bristol, baby, and it's short track racing.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you what, I ran these cars a little bit on the Bristol, and we had a fair share of cautions. It can get pretty chaotic, and considering that we have what looks like to be 25 people registered at the current moment, I think we'll even be seeing the backstretch be utilized for pits for just a few people. So we'll see if that will be anything to pay attention to. I remember back in the day, not a lot of people would win on the backstretch.
But looking how we've got the point standing here, Justin Wilson, he had a pretty dominating lead. He's up from second place, 24 points, but Randy has cut into it, and somebody y'all talked about a lot the past few weeks, Wesley Pistol. He's only back 31 points, and Sam Oliver with that good finish last week, he snuck into the fourth position. So, we got two races to go, and Justin may have it locked in unless his Oculus dies tonight.
Yeah, that mechanical issue did not help him at all last time. He would definitely have a much better point lead right now if he did not have that issue. But he does have a 24-point lead. Randy is pulling third right now in practice, so I can imagine Randy's still going to be up there pretty well. Wesley, I think he has a chance, definitely. He's probably one of my picks for someone who has not won a race yet to win today, perhaps. But where is Wesley? I haven't even seen him. He is 22nd right now in timing. So he's going to have to improve.
Yeah, this may not be the track for some of them, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Looking at these practice, and you've got Jacob Bradley, him and Brandon Sox, and even Chris Smith. We talk about every week, but somebody we don't bring up much. He's sitting in sixth spot right now in practice, and that's going to be Chase Barry. So he might be a dark horse tonight. Him and Chris Kahn both.
He was doing pretty good last week, I believe. I believe he got into a few incidents. But yeah, last week he was not doing too bad. So we'll see if anyone will be able to keep Wilson off of the front row because that is something that has been very challenging to take him off the front row.
We've
Going to
got
be going qualifying in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got about 3 minutes left in practice, and while we do that, we're gonna give a shout out to some of these sponsors that make everything here with SSRL possible. Hang tight, and we'll be back with some qualifying.
missed a black flag? Forgotten what gear you're in? Rollins Sim Control has a fix for that. We provide drivers with a unique LED flag and gear indicator box that provides drivers more visual awareness even during their toughest of races. Our SC makes a variety of flight controls and button boxes as well. Find out more at etsy.com/shop/Rollins Sim Controls.
UD Awards is a small Lithuanian business that creates and produces non-standard customizable trophies for sports, esports, and business events. Exceptional attention to the customer, quality and details are our priorities. Unique, natural, non-standard and durable, these phrases describe our thinking and products. The UD Awards team includes sports and esports enthusiasts, and we know these emotions and energy that go into them, so creating awards for athletes is a real pleasure for us. Let's break the standards together. Find UD Awards at etsy.com/shop/udwards.
We're winding up practice. All 14 viewers of y'all out there on both sides between Twitch and Facebook. I'm going to tell y'all something. We're going to leak a little something tonight. Y'all make sure y'all hang around for it. And Joe is going to have a real hard trivia question tonight about Bristol. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. If you're in here when you ask it, you get it. Personally going to send you $15, either iRacing credit or in Cash App. So
No, I take it that you have this really hard Bristol question because I didn't think of it, but I can figure out one if you need me to on the fly.
hey, that's why we may do it now. We may do it at lap 199. That's why.
Well, I'm just saying, do you need me to find a trivia question,
Yeah,
or do you have it
make a
planned?
hard. I ain't got one. That's why I'm turning to you, the
All
iRacing
right, we will.
encyclopedia. So think of us one tonight, and we're gonna start watching some qualifying here.
I will get that figured out while we do have qualifying getting started. I'm just grabbing something real quick, getting the Twitch stream up as well in the background. But hey, Mr. Barry is on provisional pole right now with a 16:01. And as expected, Justin Wilson moves up to the top of the charts. He is going to be just barely nudging out Chase by,
1900ths of a second.
yeah, not
Whoa.
very close. That is not good. But that first pit stall is going to be very important as well because the green cone is very, 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 very close to the exit of pit road.
You know what? I bet if Chase would have used the bathroom and lost a couple pounds, he might have had enough to get those seconds off there.
Yeah, Jacob Bradley. Oh man, that is just painful. Jacob Bradley has the same exact time as Chase Berry, but Jacob Bradley's given the position. So it must be in the 10,000s perhaps, because we can't even see. So that is unfortunate for Chase getting knocked off the front row like that. But a very, very competitive first three times, only separated by basically a thousandth.
I mean, it's wow. If they're running this close in practice, and I'm looking here at SDK, and it's given Justin the pole, but man, their 3 lap times the best. They are all tied. So, godly, this is gonna be wild tonight.
All right.
There's a few that snuck in qualifying that we missed, but we was just so mesmerized by those top 3.
Yeah, Brandy Bechtel, he is in fourth. He is someone that is very good, and I believe he is going to have another shot at winning it today. Brandon Sachs, who was one of the best in practice, yet to take time. He's actually taking time right now coming onto the track in the Hooters Chevrolet.
So we do it every week. Who's your dark horse pick for this race?
Um, well, Brandon Sachs just got pole. So, looking at what we got here, we haven't really talked about him much. I would say Chase Berry. Chase Berry is running very competitive times right now. He's running very well with the likes of Brandon Sox, Justin Wilson, Jacob Bradley, Brandy Bechtel, who are some of the biggest hitters in the league. I don't see really Wesley Pistoli being a factor today if he keeps on pulling those times. But yeah, I gotta say Chase Berry today is going to be the dark horse candidate today.
I'm going to throw that Hail Mary out there, and I'm going to go with the only Ford in the top 10, Mr. Johnny Brapp.
Not a bad choice. That Mission Barbecue car didn't do fantastic last week, but yeah, I could definitely see that Ford running well today. The Fords were actually doing back in the day. They actually ran pretty well at the short tracks. Granted, Bill Elliott won most of the short track races for the Thunderbirds back then, so it was a big year with Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt. They won a ton of races.
And speaking of the Hooters car, God bless his soul, Mr. Alan Kowicki should have had a lot more, but unfortunate events.
Yes, there is one of the best drivers to come out of the state of Wisconsin, where I am from. I'll tell you what, though, uh, they got a lot of good programs going on for him. In his remembrance, was at the Slinger Nationals a few nights ago, and we saw Matt Kenseth there running there, one of the best Wisconsin drivers that we got. So the one thing I do notice is that both of the Wisconsin drivers that won championships both did them in Fords, Kowicki and Kenseth.
Joe, as they're loading in that starting grid, the top five are pretty close in time, but we've got Sox was able to squeeze out the pole. Outside of him is going to be Justin Wilson. Then we're going to have Jacob Bradley in P3. Chase Berry, one of the underdog picks, is going to be starting in P4. Last week's race winner, Mr. Randy, is going to be starting in P5. Then you've got Johnny Rapp, my dark horse pick, in P6. Sam Oliver's going to be in P7. Matt Luce, P8. P9 is going to be Kerry Whitaker. P10 is going to be Chris Hahn. Make sure we say his name right. Hahn.
Interesting.
Yeah. Would you take on 11th and on for us while I get a few things rolling here?
All right, Scott Tompkins is going to be 11th, and Brady Powers is going to be 12th in that National Guard scheme. Reminds me of one of my favorite schemes with Greg Biffle. 13th is going to be Chris Smith, and 14th is going to be Ellis Thomas. Let's see if he can have a good run today. Wesley Pistol, going to have a lot of ground to make up. He is in 15th. Josh Hill is going to be in 16th. Tex Linder, 17th. Corey Dyron is going to be 18th. Larry Poling is going to be 19th. And now the guys who did not qualify. Eli Childs is going to be in 20th, who has not girded up, so he will be starting from the pits. Bruce Pearson, 21st. Eric Wright, 22nd. Joe McDory is going to be 23rd. Paul Thomas, 24th. And running out the field in the Good Ranch Chevrolet is going to be Tyler Willard. 25 cars a day, so should be a fun race. And make sure you pay good attention to this race today, because we're going to probably see a few fireworks. It is a day race, but who says you can't fire off some fireworks in the daytime?
Oh, yeah. And if the fireworks don't, these tempers are going to flare and show bright.
One thing I am going to pay attention to is that 33 and that 58, because we got two guys on the front row who have not had the best of relations the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when that green flag drops to see. Of course, Sox has got control of the field, but It's Bristol, baby, and they're gone.
All right, there we go. Brandon Sox out to a 1 car length lead early. And we're going to see Justin Wilson, though. We'll see if he can get that run off the high side. Now, there are multiple grooves you can run on this race, so we'll be seeing that. I'm going to be wondering if we're going to be getting more tires saved on the high side, but right now, Brandon is out to a few car length lead.
Yeah, you've got the one car of Jacob Bradley. He's trying to creep right there on the back end, on the outside of Justin right now. But you've got a pack of, they broke away of 3, and then you've got a pack of 5 running back from 4th to about 9th. Chase Berry all the way back to Kerry Whitaker. So that little group right
Bradley
there is looking good.
Bradley had Justin Wilson almost cleared, but then he got himself into the wall. That high side can be really, really fast, but you just got to keep it under control. He looked like he may have bottomed out just a slight bit on the high side, hit the wall, but he will fall back into the 3rd spot. Got a battle right now. It's going to be for 6. Going to be Sam Oliver trying to make the pass on Johnny Rapp, and looks like Oliver is just going to fire it right off the corner and get to 6th.
Oliver shot out of there pretty quick on that high side, and it looks like if you can maintain it on that high side, you can get a good run on the exit, but you take the chance of bumping that wall and slowing you down, doing damage to the car. And if you hit that wall on that right side, these cars do not want to turn left one bit.
Well, I know one thing is this track can be difficult to pass on at times because if you are someone that likes running that high side, it can be very difficult to run the bottom, even if you are somebody that has better tires or is just overall faster. But you can just see what Jacob Bradley is doing. He's running that high side and gaining over a car length each time. Now, he's almost in the marbles, but he is just running off the corners so much better. Now, my question is that going to affect his tires later on? We will see.
Yeah, he's making a he's being a poster child of what the high side can do if you can stick it there. And like somebody one time said, high side always get the girls, but right now he's hoping the high side gets him that checkered flag instead.
Maybe that saying is beyond my years, but looks like Brandon Sox just migrated up top for just a moment, then got back down to the bottom. But yeah, we can see that the 1 car is not gaining as much now that they're on side by side, but we got a caution out. And that is a big one, the National Guard car around, and that is Brady Powers in the wall.
Did not want to see it that early, and I saw a tire go rolling by, so let's see if we can get a full view of what happened with that one.
By the way, you did not share your OBS Ninja, just so you know.
We'll have to fix that one. It looks like Josh got into the wall and came down and collected them.
Yeah, the netcode didn't look that great either. Definitely unfortunate because I do not believe that had that netcode not happened, I don't think that wreck would have happened either. Looks like the 49 got into Brady as well, but I don't think either of them are too badly damaged. That tire took a wild ride though.
Yeah,
Got some air time.
he definitely got a few miles in.
I'm under the assumption that the National Guard car had a tow. That is correct. So Brady Powers is going to be a lap down. Eli Childs, by the way, did not get into the race, so may see him later on, may not. We will see.
All right, y'all, since we're under a caution, we're going to throw it back to a short little ad break. And if you have been keeping up with us on social media, you might know a little bit about what's going on. All right, make sure y'all follow that just a little bit, as when we take it to Roku, we want to bring y'all with us and everybody else that's going to be involved in the community. Joe, there is a link coming into you, and you're going to be up to date with me.
Sounds good. By the way, I have a two-parter question ready, so might as well make it difficult if we're going to be giving out some money. Because I was looking around and I found some interesting information.
Well, I'm
So
going
we
to
will get to that
W,
soon.
the Encyclopedia of iRacing for Southern Broadcast Racing Network. You can come up with some good trivia questions.
Right now I am on mrn.com for a info guide. I will give you all one hint though with the question. I have two questions, and both of them include two drivers. So that is what it will be. Green flag back in the air, and Jacob Bradley fires out like a rocket, as Richard would say, and he is out to about a one-car length lead. Brandon Sachs pretty good off the restart as well. Brandon looking really high, almost gets in the marbles, trying to cut down a little bit. I'm going to see if he's going to be brave enough maybe to try a pass on the low side. I don't think he'll be able to do it, though, just because of how much of a run the high side can get. As you can see, the one car just fires out of the corner, even if Brandon can get a little bit more coming out of the bottom. But he just can't. So right now, Bradley's the leader.
Yeah, Bradley's sticking it pretty good, and I'm going to tell you what, you've got a close one going on. We go back towards about sixth on the back, riding right now with the 21 of 27 of Matt Cluse. And him and Chris Hahn, Chris Smith, and Kerry Whitaker, and Elias Thomas, they're all battling it out right there for that sixth through about 8th, 10th position.
Yeah, Hahn should be able to make it on the high side, but is just going a little bit slower, so maybe he just backed out a little bit to let Smith by. Your pick, Johnny Rapp, going to be looking on the high side as well on the 5-car Chase Berry. So that is our two picks right next to each other. And Johnny Rapp is going to take the position easily. And it looks like up in front, Sox again looking to make a move on the bottom, but it is just not working for him.
Yeah, he's really going to have to set that car up coming into the turn there to get a good run, to actually get the run out on Bradley, because he's pretty much dominating that high side, and he's putting Sox on his feet and not letting him get by.
We got a few two wide battles here. Scott Tompkins just passed Kerry Whitaker, and we got Hone and Ellis Thomas going through, and Ellis Thomas just took the position away from him. Looks like Chase Berry is trying to get on the high side, but it is just not working for him like it was for the 52. Berry falls back to 7th.
Yeah, it's one of those, you don't want to get too aggressive right now. I mean, we're at 22 out of 200. There's a whole lot of racing left. No stage breaks, but a whole lot of green flag. Hopefully not too many cautions. And it's going to be a wild ride tonight.
I think cautions definitely could start coming out maybe when the fall off starts a little bit more. So we will see if that will lead to anything, but it does look like people are getting a little bit more spread out. We were pretty close when it came to about 4th through 10th, but not anymore. But if you want an idea of where everyone is, last place right now, which is the 42 car of Paul Thomas. He is halfway down the back straightaway right now. Jacob Bradley's just coming out of turn number 2, so they got about a straightaway advantage on Bradley. So yeah, lap cars maybe coming into factor, maybe in about 20 laps, maybe less.
Well, with those lap cars, I mean, what would be the comfortable way for you? You talk about tire fall off. It's going to happen probably in the next 20, 25 laps, but they'll probably be caught up with some of these lap cars by then. So how would you play that maneuver there as far as getting around?
I'd be getting on the radio and I'd tell him, get low because I don't want to pass you low. Because if I try to pass you low, even if I can, even if they let off to let me by, it's still going to slow me down and it's going to allow the car behind to get up to me. So I really don't want to be messing around with a lap car, especially when I have a car that I know is fast and I know is going to be a definite challenge to get by if he does get by. So yeah, I don't want to be messing around with a lap car, especially with a guy who, as fast as Sox is, I don't want him being closer than he already is.
Sox, he's trying his damnedest to make that inside line work, and it's just he can get the run in, but coming out, he just can't make it stick to that inside, and he's not going to be able to get by Bradley on that inside. He's going to have to hope Bradley makes a mistake or something.
Honestly, on Bristol, the higher you run, the faster you will go. Looking at fall off right now as well. We qualified at a fastest lap of a 15.989. Right now, we're pulling 17.923s. So that is a significant fall off, pretty much 2 seconds. And we're only 31 laps into a run, so tires are definitely going to be a factor. And Brandon Sox is pulling about a tenth faster, so we'll see if he's able to get the bottom working, but I don't think he'll be able to do it.
I'm right there looking at Chris Smith right now. So he's trying to get around the 5 of Chase Berry, and he's got Scott Tompkins right there behind him. And them three right there have kind of been, they were battling out for a few laps. They've kind of settled down a little bit. You know, it seems like the field's kind of starting to slowly spread out. I mean, we've got a pretty good battle with Kerry Whitaker and Wesley Pistol right now. It's both of them with that 12th position. And Ellis actually has that position they want. So it's going to come down to them 2, 3 trying to fight for it. They're going into 1 and 2 pretty hot and heavy.
Quick shout out in the Twitch chat. We have Curtis Ecker in the chat. Let's go racing Bristol, baby. All right. And we also got our National Guard man, number 55. That is going to be Brady Powers in the chat. Unfortunately, he is out of the race. You have any prospect of getting back in the race, perhaps? Feel free to put it in the chat. Paul Thomas, first one to go, 1 lap down.
Yeah, Paul might actually be in one of the better positions. You know,
Oh, where he pulling is putting Bechdel into the wall and pulling is around, and Oliver smacks him. And the 5 is getting around. Ellis Thomas involved as well. Big crash in turn number 2.
that was. We're going to have to wind that one back because we was just on them and swapped out of them. So we're going to jump it back right with Larry and see what happened on that one.
I see exactly what happened. So rewind it a bit there, Jeremy. There's more to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. This might be a
So what happened is, yeah, he got loose coming off the corner, and from the looks of it, he dropped a tire. And yeah, you'll see as he hits the wall. You won't be able to see it on that side, but his tire did get loose, and he just had no steering. Unfortunately, nothing that he could really do about it because he was cranking that wheel in the cockpit. Unfortunately, um,
ooh, you got
Randy
Brandon.
just picked
Mm,
Randy just picked the wrong way.
you had Brandon Sox involved in it, Randy involved in it. Sam Oliver T-boned him. You had some
Yeah,
of the lead cars right there took out.
you could say that Randy Bechdel got away with it at least a little bit well, but Ellis Thomas and Chase Berry should be all right too. It just looks like they have some aero damage, so it shouldn't be that bad, but they're going to have to come down pit road. One thing I am wondering is anyone else going to be coming down pit road? I believe we have 3 sets of tires available to us. We're not to about a quarter of the way, almost a quarter of the way done with the race. So maybe a few cars will come down pit road, but we shall see. I'll keep my pit lane strategy opened.
Well, I'm going to tell you who came out pretty good on that one, and that was Wesley Pistol. He got lucky on that one, so he's going to benefit a lot out of that. Well, Roach on 12, 7 ads. Man, I hate it. You came in at probably the ad break time, but I heard there's a purple button. Bottom right there. Get rid of those ads.
Yeah, I was actually loading up the Twitch stream, and it was like they have marshmallow Coca-Cola, and I was like, oh, marshmallow flavored Coca-Cola. I remember when Pepsi came out with Peeps flavored, and that was amazing. It tasted great. And then I look at it in further, and it's strawberry and watermelon. I'm like, oh, it's like a
Marshmallow with strawberry and watermelon.
well, marshmallow. I'd never heard of them, but apparently it's like a creator or something like that. I
Oh,
didn't read too far into it.
marshmallow. Yeah, he's the guy that does a bunch of dubstep. He wears the marshmallows on his head. Yep, my kids introduced me to him a few years back. Yeah,
Ah, interesting.
only way I knew him.
Yeah, because the ad was just saying marshmallow Coke, and I was like, oh, is it going to be like the Peeps flavored Pepsi? Because that was amazing.
I ain't fond of Peeps.
My buddy won it off Twitter. It was a very limited edition, and it tasted great. So I'm wondering if you recreate it, maybe you just dissolve a peep in your Pepsi. I have no idea. A few cars came down pit road. It would be Thomas, Berry, Sox, Terrett Hill, McDory. So yeah, we'll see if that will lead to anything. And green flag is out, and Jacob Bradley leading once again. So we will see if the guys who pitted are going to be making any moves. I want to take a look at Brandon Sox here, because he's definitely the fastest guy on the track. Earlier, he was pulling faster than Bradley, but just was not able to make the pass. And it looks like, yeah, the fall off on these guys is going to be pretty significant, I would say. I'm going to see how good Brandon's going to be running for the next few laps. I'll keep an eye on him, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're actually riding with him on the blimp right now, especially on these restarts. You never know what's going to happen. So we're going to put it on Sox. He's about mid-pack, and that's usually where a lot of the action happens is back towards mid and back.
Yeah, right now Ellis Thomas is just ahead of him, who also pitted. And it looks like the National Guard car is back up as well. Just came out of nowhere. I was just not paying attention, and all of a sudden, wow, just firing out of there. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get any positions. But just don't be too aggressive, because you probably ain't going to gain anything, because you are 28 laps down. So just keep it safe there, buddy.
Yeah, he said he's hopefully going to get out there, get a few laps in, which every point matters. This is the race before the end, and next week it's going to be. You think this is short track racing? You put 27 cars at Nashville Fairgrounds. That's going to be something you want to be at.
Oh yeah, definitely. The fairgrounds are a fun track to race at. A lot of fun, and we got one car a little bit squirrely. That is going to be Corey Dyron. He did not hit anything, but should be getting on the track just fine. Luckily for him, no harm, no foul. Brady Powers looking under the 85 of Chris, but yeah, he ain't going to be getting anything because he is 28 laps down. Jacob Bradley out about a few car lengths on Justin Wilson, but Randy Bechtel looking on the bottom, but it just ain't working.
And I'm glad to see, the lick that Bechtel took. I'm glad to see him back up there, because that could have been a whole lot worse than what it actually was for him.
Now, one thing I'm looking at, and it's actually kind of interesting, is that Brandon Sox is pulling right now a 17.7, but the leader right now is pulling a 17.6. So I'm thinking maybe, is it maybe not tire wear? Maybe that's a big factor, but what if it may be tire heat? Do you think maybe having too much heat in those tires is causing these guys to go slow? I mean, obviously, Brandon Sox is not taking the best line, but we'll see how he gets going. But I'm just surprised he's taking such an inefficient line.
Yeah, Sox is probably just trying to take whatever line he can get to get back up there towards the front. It's took him about 2 or 3 laps to get around Ellis. But, he's finally did, and he's setting his eyes on Eric Wright in that 55 there. He's having a pretty decent race. He's up 11 spots, sitting there in the 11th position.
Yeah, he's doing good. I'm just surprised that he is pulling such slow times. I mean, maybe he's just trying to keep the tires safe. because we are running farther in. We've gone about 15 laps since we last pitted, so yeah, I mean he could be at a disadvantage a little bit, but we will see. Well, I'll make sure to keep an eye on him as we get through the race.
I'll tell you right now, the one I'm eyeing on is my dark horse pick. Oh my God, I just said it bad. Mr. Johnny Rapp he's moved up to fourth position.
Yeah, one thing I am also noticing is Wilson and Bradley are going at it right now. Justin Wilson looking on the bottom, and Bradley is just defending that outside really well. We got a tire down off of one car. That looks like the 24 car is down a tire. It's actually off of his car. So we'll see if he can manage to get down in the pits. It looks like Tarrant Hill also got into an incident. So we're going to have to take a look here and see what happened between those two. I'm looking back at the replay, and what happened in the 24 is the same thing that happened to Larry a few laps ago that brought out the last caution, which was he got loose off the corner and slammed the inside wall.
Yeah, if you hit that wall and it knocks that tire out of the line, you're pretty much shot to shit for turning left any whatsoever.
Oh, he didn't get the tire out of alignment. He lost the tire. 4-race suspension for the crew chief. All right. Anyway, Randy Bechtel getting up pretty close. We got everybody in the top 3 now running on the high side. The 42 just got put a lap down. And we got Wilson looking for the lead once again. But the one is able to hold him off just a little bit. The one is really going to have to fire it off good because he's probably going to be able to clear him if he just cuts up. And yep, Justin Wilson is going to lead the race in the Margaritaville Chevrolet.
Well, you know what? Jacob's giving it all he's got, but Randy's putting work in too, and they both was able to get him on the inside. So it might be more of they getting the inside now, but how bad are they burning up those tires as compared to Jacob hanging on the outside and not running them near as hot?
I mean, for running 62 laps with only 2 cautions, I mean, he's still running at a decent pace. He was running at a decent pace even through it. So what we're looking at right now is as they cross the line, they're running about a tenth to 2 tenths faster than him right now. And Justin Wilson just chopped the nose off the 18, slowed him down, almost able to get the 1 to get by him. And we have another car slowed down on the apron of the track. That is going to be the 26. I have a commercial on my end.
The link is in. I've got us both muted right now. The link is in the SBRN Discord for what I'm on. Right. Okay. Going back hot.
All right, we are back, and Johnny Rapp, Jeremy's pick, up to 4th place right now. He is trying to see if he can reel in Jacob Bradley. Jacob Bradley seems to be a little bit off the pace of what he was doing. Surprisingly, though, Sox and Thomas just have not gained that much. They've only gained about 5 positions since they last pit. Johnny Rapp easily on the bottom, so we can definitely tell that that one car is starting to fall off. We got another car down pit road. That's going to be Tex Linder. So I think we're going to be starting to see some pit stops under the green flag in a few laps, perhaps.
Yeah, it's coming up on it. I mean, the first run, it only gave them what lap was it? They pitted 39?
On the wall, and that's going to be the 27. And 27, oh man. So 27 got loose a little bit and got right into Wesley. Put Wesley just pointed right up toward the wall. And then the 27 got into our old National Guard friend who was in the chat earlier. Just did not slow down at all, which caused Matt Cluse just slamming into him. Luckily, no real damage to either one, though.
Yeah, that 27, he looks like he's got loose coming out across the start finish line, and he collected Wesley Pistol in it. And that's an unfortunate break for him, but those tires on that 27, they're still rolling as he's trying to make it. Yeah, and he right up in, like you said, into the 55.
I'll tell you who wanted that caution a lot, which is Jacob Bradley, because he was starting to drop and drop fast. So Jacob Bradley, definitely probably one of the happiest people that a caution did come out.
It don't look like there was much damage to the cars off of that, but I'm pretty sure the 55's not too happy right now with the series of unfortunate events that have happened for him the past 20 laps.
All right, so we are going to be doing our question. Now, keep in mind, this is for 15. Correct, Jeremy?
That's right. Two-part question, 15 iRacing or Cash App dollars.
So, $15, we're not going to make it easy. So, here is your two questions today. There were two famous crashes in Bristol, including the crossover gate, which basically split the cars pretty badly. Happened in 1990 and 2002. One was in the Cup Series and one was in the Busch Series. Which two drivers were involved in crossover gate incidents that split their cars? They're pretty amazing crashes, by the way, if you ever do see them. And the second question that also involves just two drivers, according to MRN.com, which two drivers are the only drivers to win at Bristol in an Oldsmobile?
And while y'all think it out, we're going to take another commercial break real quick.
Are you looking for high-quality, affordable sim racing paint schemes and graphics? Then look no further than Evan at Evan Pienta Designs. Driven by speed, Evan Pienta Designs offers a multitude of sim racing graphics, from liveries to social media graphics to team and series logos. To see some of the work done by Evan, or even race one of the public liveries he's made, head on over to tradingpaints.com and search Evan Pienta.
All right, so we are back, and I think a few people may have missed the question, so I will repeat it. Two different drivers were involved in a crossover gate incident, which basically split their car into a crazy crash. One was in 1990, one was in 2002. Which two drivers were they? The other question was, only two different drivers have won at Bristol in an Oldsmobile. Which two drivers won cup races in an Oldsmobile? We'll keep that question open for a few minutes, and next break we will give out the answers and see if anyone got them right. So we are going to be naming 4 drivers in these questions. Yeah, unfortunately for Tex, though, he is 4 laps down. 15 cars still on the lead lap. Jacob Bradley is out to a pretty big lead. We missed that as we were on the break, but he is out to a 1.7 second lead. But Chris Smith, who I haven't really seen of much today, started 13th. He is going to be up in 3rd, and Ellis Thomas is going to be in 5th. Now everybody pitted, even the guys that did pit on 38. So unfortunately for them, that strategy did not work out too well, and I think they only get 3 sets of tires of extras. So that is going to be something that we're probably going to need to pay attention to, because they're going to have to make these tires last for a bit.
Yeah, it's going to come down to a lot of tire wear and who can actually stick it on the track. You know, we've seen them run pretty good on that high side, but you know that fallout, it may be more of the inside. Is Fox put it past Wilson on the inside, something we don't see too much of.
Yeah, Sox definitely does have a fast ride today. I think for once he is a little bit faster than Justin. Remember, Brandon did win the Clash at Michigan. So, yeah, Brandon Sox definitely has a fast hot rod almost every single week. Wesley Pistoli as well. He is a guy that has a fast hot rod almost every week. He, unfortunately, though, got in a crash and has fallen back down to 10th. However, he is up 5 spots. So we'll see if he's able to get anything going. Unfortunately, though, Randy Bechtel, who we know is fast, is just kind of clogged up in traffic right now.
Now, you know, Joe, we gave him a hint that there was 4 drivers that was going to be involved on that. Nobody's gave 4 drivers for the correct
Yeah, the
answer.
only people I have seen are Michael Waltrip and Mike Harmon. So
Y'all missing 2.
yeah, we're missing 2. Who are involved in the crossover gates, and which 2 drivers won in Oldsmobiles. But yeah, we start getting answers, because if we don't start getting some drivers, what are we going to do if we don't get all 4? Car around, car on the wall, and that's going to be the 2. Kerry Whitaker and the Mike Curb Chevrolet, and slammed into by the 9 of Sam Oliver.
I'm going to tell you what, Mr. Oliver has just been in the wrong place at the wrong time a whole lot tonight.
I don't know. Sam Oliver may have had some ARCA breaks there, because he did not stop. Just, oh my goodness. I mean, I know the brakes are not that great, but that definitely could have been avoided.
Chris Smith got real lucky on that as that 2 cars shot right. Almost collected him, but got lucky. 52-25. Fortunate. Wesley actually squeezed by it. And it looked like the 58. He kind of parked it a little bit. Didn't hit him too hard, so he may not take much damage off that. But the 9, man, he sent him back up the wall. That was a pretty rough one on the 9 car and the 2 both.
Yes, sir. All right. We're going to try to get this question going pretty fast. So I'll just say this: Curtis Ecker got the first question correct. So, Curtis, are you in the chat?
Ooh, I don't have it timed stamped. I'm seeing the Roach saying Mikey Waltrip, Curtis saying Michael Waltrip.
And Mike Harmon. Michael Waltrip, 1990. Harmon, 2002. Now,
I'm
since Curtis got it right,
seeing Christopher Hubka from the Facebook side said Michael Waltrip and Mike Harmon.
all
I
right, Curtis
believe.
Ecker. Curtis Ecker put in his answer for the Oldsmobiles. So, let's see if he is right. Well, I know the answer if he is right. Looking at MRN, according to MRN.com, Curtis Ecker is, drumroll, correct. He is correct. It is not Michael, Daryl Waltrip and Ernie Irvin. They were the only two guys to win in a Oldsmobile. So, man, it's been a while since Oldsmobile has been in the sport. But yeah, Daryl Waltrip, he won that in 1979. Not in his streak of when he won. Oh, I don't remember how many it was. I believe it was 7 in a row at Bristol. He won a ton of races at Bristol at that time.
Well, we had a few get half right, but didn't get both half right. So
Curtis Eckert got everything right.
Curtis Eckert got it. And you know what I'm proud to say, Curtis? He's flew the SBRN colors quite a few times. So I will be reaching out to you. I've already got your information. Just let me know how you want it, and that's how you'll get it.
Yeah, Ernie Irvin was one of my favorite drivers. I'll tell you what, he's a great driver. I remember at the tail end of his career when he was driving for, I believe, MB2 Motorsports, when he had that Skittles scheme in the 36. That was a real nice looking scheme, but I also really liked it when he had those Kodak cars with Morgan McClure back in the day. Those Kodak cars were always a threat on the big tracks.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Brandon Sachs out to a big rocket of a start. He's looking bottom, but Jacob Bradley just does not have the slow enough car to let him by. So Jacob Bradley's going to run high once again, but you got to keep in mind though, if he does that too much, I think he's got to keep in mind that his tires are maybe going to be heating up a little bit faster or wearing faster, but had a few cars pit under that caution as well. Just want to point out that would be Rapp, Barry, and Oliver. So just keep that in mind. Well, right now we got side by side for the lead, and Brandon Sachs is going to fall back in line.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to make a pass. Sachs, he's been strong, but he hadn't been that strong on the inside line. Bradley's, he's stout. I mean, on that outside line, he is holding his own, and if he's up there, he's going to make you work for it, taking that lead from him.
One person I am noticing falling back quite a bit. And keep in mind, we only have 15 cars on the lead lap. That is going to be the 15 of Bruce Pearson. He is falling quite quickly. He is falling pretty much over a half a second a lap. So he might be getting back there pretty fast. Looking for some battles going on. Everyone's pretty much just staying single file right about now. No one's really willing to make a challenge. You have to look all the way back by the 21st position. We got some lap cars going at it, which is going to be Tarrant Hill in the wall, by the way. 11 laps down from Tarrant Hill. Hits the wall again, but I think he'll be all right. These cars can be pretty tanky, but it seems like the wheels are not treating them too well today. Jeremy?
Yeah, I was interacting a little bit there with the Twitch chat. I kind of missed a little of what you said, but I'm seeing that battle with Chris Smith and Justin Wilson right now. Randy, right now Chris is in the highest he's been pretty much all season.
Yeah, Chris Smith, really good day today for him today. I think he definitely will have a chance to win. Sam Oliver going to be going for about the third time, trying to get from the back to the front to the back to the front. I know drivers absolutely hate it when that happens. It can be one of the most annoying things ever, knowing that you have a good car, but you are just unable to really get anything going. Got almost 3 wide battle for the third spot. Chris Smith had just a peek at Justin Wilson. But yeah, it looks like Chris Smith is going to maybe be able to make it work on the high side. Justin is just not defending the outside. I think Chris Smith, if he just puts a little bit more in that corner, he might be able to get it going. Almost gives Justin a tap as well. But Chris Smith having a really good day today in fourth.
Yeah, that from about third all the way back to Wesley, sitting in the eighth position, they're all within striking distance of each other. So I mean, if somebody slips up, sneezes, we we can have a major shift up right there from sixth through 10th.
Chris Smith right now reminded me just a little bit of one of my biggest rivals, Derek Welch. You know, he's one of those drivers that Derek is, but it looks like Chris Smith is kind of emulating that right now, where he's kind of just being careful, kind of taking his time, not really forcing any issues, and that can work for you. I disagree with that kind of driving style, but it can be a more of a safe style if you get a long run, because he's not really putting a lot of wear. What it looks like he's very much taking it easy.
Yeah, I mean, you've still got 80-ish laps to go. I mean, 79 actually. I want to put a lot of pressure right now. Everybody's going to have to pit again. So just hang out, keep your track position, and, you may have luck fall in your lap on you.
I mean, here's the thing: you can afford to be patient and say third place. But if you're someone who's like way back there, take example Wesley Pistoli, who did not have a good qualifying run, but knows he is fast and has been running pretty good all day when he's not been involved in wrecks. Here's the thing: if you're patient like he is, you could end up having a wreck happen in front of you and get taken out by that. I've seen that happen to patient drivers more times than I can count. But also, you might be stuck back there too long, and then when everyone else is going to be getting in that position of we're not going to be given as much right now as we were 100 laps ago, it's just going to be harder for you. So, I mean, in my opinion, take it when you can get it.
Yeah, if you can't get it closing laps, you've got a bumper there that can get it for you.
That is correct. But yeah, Chris Smith looks like he is definitely leading the way and keeping it a little bit more easy. Now, running on the bottom, I mean, you're running less track, and it seems like the way that it is running, I think he is going to be saving some tires. And I think Justin Wilson's going to be doing the same here as well. Randy Beckdale in that Interstate Batteries Chevrolet is also back up after being involved in a little bit of incidents today. But he's getting the cut down, so we got a bunch of guys who are going to be in an interesting position, because you have Jacob Bradley, he's been pretty decent all year, who hasn't had a win yet, has had a chance, but just not been in position. Then you got someone like Chris Smith, who has not been in this position and is definitely going to be hungry, because he ain't going to win the championship, but a win would be certainly nice.
Yeah. I mean, just to get a win in a field that's stacked like this, you may not be winning the championship, but just to say, I won it at Bristol in the SlingShot Racing League, that's enough bragging rights in itself.
Yes, sir, and I don't know why I didn't run in this league, man. Short tracks are my best, they're my bread and butter. So, man, I could imagine I would love running this if I was in the car, with how many short tracks we got going on. One of my favorite tracks to run. So, yeah. Looking around here, what we got going on is we have 15 cars on the lead lap. That is about to be, I believe, 14, as Jacob Bradley is closing down on Bruce Pearson, who just is pretty much off pace right now, but has been managing to keep his nose out of trouble and is running in the top 15. Looking around, though, everyone's pretty much content just to run single file right now. We're at lap 122 of 200 right now. So what do you think? Do you think Bradley's going to start falling off perhaps in the next 10, 20 laps?
If he keeps that high side, I wouldn't see it doing too much. But, you never know. I mean, his car could suddenly take a change for the worse. And we could see him falling back real quick like a boat off anchor off a boat.
Car around that is going to be the 49, and luckily does not collect the leader. Maybe a premature caution as the 49 got into the 10, just kind of drifted it around the corner, got slightly into the 15. And my question is, did Bruce Pearson go a lap down, or will he be at the tail end of the lead lap? I think Bruce Pearson is going to be saved from going a lap down. Because at the moment of caution, I believe he was out in front.
He was, and the 15 actually straightened the 49 out. So it could have been a whole lot worse than what it was there, Joe.
Oh, yeah, that definitely had potential to take out the leader. And looking at everything right now, the 15 barely, just by about a nose, was ahead of the 1. So very, very lucky for Bruce. Got a car down pit road. That is going to be Jacob Bradley. Lucky Dog is going to be, I believe, Tex Linder. Maybe. Got Justin Wilson down pit road as well. It's going to be Bechdel, Scott Tompkins, Ellis and Pistol, Hone, and Oliver, all down pit road and right.
You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I said it out in chat while all that was going on. Since the Roach on 12, got half of it right, I'm just going to go ahead and, since he didn't win both questions, I'm going to give him a sub to the Southern Broadcast Racing Network.
Nice, nice. Well, congratulations to your sub, Rochon, and thank you for participating in the questions. Yeah, you got Mikey Waltrip, right? So enjoy your sub. All right, so with pit stops all being done, just waiting for everything to cycle through in the SDK. We got Soxon first, Smith in second, Cluse third, Barry fourth, Rapp fifth, Pearson sixth, Bechdel first to pit is going to be in seventh. So we'll see if that will make a difference. I think Ellis may be out of tires. Or do we get 4 sets extra? Thomas has pitted 3 times, so has Sam Oliver. Not sure if they took tires on those because, it would be nice if I could see that, but we do not know that. All right, Jeremy, you think Chris Smith has a chance at the lead?
I think the way it's playing out, Chris Smith may actually have a chance at the win. He can, he's got about 14 cars he's got to hold off. And let me tell you what, we've got Brandon Sox up there and a couple of our dark horses. We've got Johnny Rapp, Chase Berry, both sitting in 4 and 6.
Yeah, Brandon Sox, great restart. And I'll tell you this, Chris Smith starting in 13th spot. He was such a dark horse in the sweeper that we didn't even notice him. And he's up in the second, so doing great right now, Chris. So we'll see if he's able to get anything going. But we got Brandon Sox out to the lead right now. And, Chris Smith ran a 16-0 in practice. So maybe a little bit overshadowed by some of the other guys that were just barely ahead. But, yeah, Chris Smith, even if he doesn't win the day, a second place would be fantastic for him. And we got Matt Cluse up here as well, who hasn't really been up there that much. But we see Jacob Bradley, brand new tires. I think he'll be going to make a challenge pretty fast. And you can just see, with those brand new tires, he is just taking that bottom and making it look easy.
Watch watching your pick right now, that 5 Chase Berry, and he's giving. Well, he was giving Ellis Thompson and Justin Wilson a battle, but he's kind of slowed down just a little bit on his pace.
Yeah, these guys that didn't pit, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're going to start dropping pretty fast. I can tell that Chase may be a little bit more cautious right now, falling back down to 8th, so we'll see what he can do. But Ellis Thomas on the rear of that 58 of the Margaritaville. I believe all three of these guys will be getting up there pretty quickly. And unfortunately for that 28, he is going to fall back. But later in the race, he may have that advantage of an extra pair of freshies that these guys may not have.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to pretty much tires. You got 65 to go. If you've got them, use them towards the end at the last caution. But I'm going to tell you, Joe, I've seen a whole lot less cautions than what I was honestly expecting. I was figuring we was going to be putting up around the 10 to 15 range, and we ain't even broke the 5 yet. So.
Well, right now we got what looks like 21 cars on the track right now, of which of those 21, only 15 are on the lead lap. Everyone else is multiple laps down. We have no one or two down. You have to go back to 16th and Paul Thomas, the first car lap down. He is 3 laps down, sharing that with Corey Dyron in the 26 car. So I think we might be getting a little bit more aggressive driving here, especially if people are hanging onto that top and making it hard to pass. We will see. Just yawned as I was going there, but yeah, Jeremy, how many more cautions do you think we got left in this race?
I'm probably going to say we might have 2, if that.
I would say 2 would be a very realistic guess. And right now, I gotta say, the top five all on brand new tires. Got to go back down to Brandon Sox, who is running 6 with old tires. So yeah, definitely a caution would be liked by these guys, because you can see Brandon's fallen back to 6th spot. He started in first on the restart, but he is falling back fast. He is dropping about 0.3 a lap. Unfortunately, though, Johnny Rapp, your pick, has fallen back to 11th. Same with mine, Chase Berry, back to 9th. Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, he's dropped off, but, he's back there with Randy. So, I mean, it don't really mean by the driving, because we've seen Randy go from back to the front to the back, and now he's kind of setting mid-pack. But, I mean, Barry's making a run for him on the outside. If he wants that position, Randy's going to have to actually challenge him for it.
Yeah, what I'm looking at right now is the top 5 pitted. Then Sox, Smith, and Cluse, they pitted on 71. Barry on 93. Then we got Bechtel and Wright on 126. Rapp on 93 as well. Oliver 126 and Hone as well on 126. And then the last lead lap car, Pearson, 71. So I'm betting Pearson's hoping another caution comes out, because he is falling off fast. He's only about a straightaway ahead of Jacob.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if those cars that pitted during lap 71 instead of 126, how well of a fact are those tires going to come in? Because if caution comes out here in the next few, they're going to be sitting pretty as everybody else. They went through their last set. We hypothetically say they went through their last set. We don't know for sure. But, it's going to be interesting. Lap 126 tires compared to, say, lap 180 tires.
Yeah, basically what I'm thinking is, like, the guys that are leading right now, that They still have one set left. It looks like the only guys who may not be able to get another set would be Ellis Thomas, Brandon Sox, and Chase Berry, and it looks like Oliver as well. Now, we don't know if they didn't change tires or not, but I'm thinking, like, Ellis Thomas, if a caution comes out, like, he want it to come out now, but if it came out like lap 180, he'll drop, and he'll drop quick. I mean, luckily for Sox and Smith and Cluse, you know, Bechdel and Wright just have not had great runs. Now, I think Randy's going to be able to have more of a better chance to catch Chris and Brandon. But these guys, they're going to want a caution to come out, and they're going to want it to come out pretty soon. Especially Sox and Smith, because everyone else is going to be pitting. So they don't want to be dropping farther back than they have to.
Well, I mean, you're seeing, Randy and Eric both. They're towards the back end of the top 10. They both pitted when the leaders did, and Sox and Smith are still able to hold them off and not let them get by. So, are they that they could be saving since it's their last set? But I don't know, man. It's going to come down to if there's another caution. If there ain't, there's going to be a lot of
Caution.
upset folks.
We have a caution. That is going to be Joe McDory. Looks like he got a little loose, let off the throttle, and Tarrant Hill gave him a little assisted spin.
I hate to see that for that 312 Motorsports team.
Yeah, unfortunately, McDory was already 13 laps down. Tarrant Hill 11 laps down. So, caution between guys who are pretty far out of the race. So, we're going to be looking for pit road to open this time by. I'm thinking pretty much everybody who has the chance is probably going to pit. You may see a few guys stay out and hope for another one. We're 30 laps into a run, so I'm very interested to see who's coming and who's not.
Well, real quick, while they're doing that, we're going to give a shout out to the Sim Racer movie. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, the premiere is going to be September 18th. I believe that's what I was told today. So sit back for a second, enjoy a little glimpse of the movie, and we will be right back.
I found out I owe $9,600 on the house. So I'm entering the sim race. It's 20 grand. Think I'd be a good race car driver?
I think you'd be a great driver.
Looks like you're my new competition. You think I'm too nice in person?
Maybe people should treat you the way that you treat them.
But you'd be hanging out with your Washington crew chief anyway today.
The only way he can beat you is to wreck you.
You stopped racing because people said you were old and washed up. Come back and prove them wrong.
I'll see you on race day.
Make sure if you're in that area, check them out. You've got Roman Bowling, Shane Hurlson, produced by Brock Dury. Go down there and see it if you're close. You know, tell them SBRN sent you. You might get some free popcorn.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this. Everybody but the top 6 that we have right now pitted. So Chris Smith is going to be leading Fresh Tire Group. And one thing I do want to point out is Brandon Sox did not come in. And then he sees all these other guys come around. He's like, oh, crap. So he is going to be back farther than he should have been with Fresh Tires. And one other guy, going to be Bruce Pearson. Been managing to keep on the lead lap pretty well today, and now he has Fresh Tires. So we'll see what will happen. Jacob Bradley is going to get out to a good start, and the guy I'm going to be looking right now is Chris Smith, how he gets this restart taken care of. The 53, Eric Wright passed pretty easily on the bottom by Randy and Chris. Almost 3 wide as the 25 of Scott Tompkins is looking above Ellis Thomas. Now, these guys have 30-lap newer tires, so we'll be able to see what they're going to be able to do. And I think Ellis Thomas is going to fall pretty quickly on the bottom. You see the 25 trying to get that 28 pinched up is a little bit more than he'd like. 25 is pinching him a little too hard with those old tires, and I cannot imagine 28 is too happy about that. But, you know, he's been driving a pretty safe race all day. Now it is time to get on the button and get moving. He's already up to 4th.
You saw that 25 get a little loose on the edge of the screen, so those tires may be coming into effect. But, you know, Chris Smith, if he can get through that traffic, he's getting by Wesley Pistol right now. So, I mean, them right there, it's a hornet's nest back there sitting about 5th through all the way through 9th.
Yeah, we were seeing almost 3 wide with Wesley on the high side, but we see that Chris Smith is going to be running for the race of his life, trying to get the win today. And I don't think that one car is going to be much of a challenge, but the one car is not going to leave that outside open. So Chris Smith is going to have to dive in there and just hope he can get past him as fast as possible. Yes, he will. So now it's time to get as much space taken as you can while you're waiting for Randy to get past the 1. Johnny Rapp nearly gets into the rear of the 18. And, yeah. Got Brandon Sox as well coming with new tires. So it is going to be very interesting how everything will unfold, especially with some of the guys who did not pit if another caution does come out. Luckily, they all survived the 3 wide shenanigans, and it looks like Scott is going to be falling back again. We got Chris Hone looking on the inside of Scott Tompkins. Justin Wilson.
He's dropping pretty bad, too.
Yeah, Matt Klutz nearly got him a couple of times. Luckily for him, no spin, and I would say if you're in a position like these guys, 10 laps on the tires, I don't think would make that much of a difference. So if a caution came out there, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to happen. 25 gets into the 85 pretty hard, and we have a really squirrely car. That is going to be the 27. Matt is just on eggshells right now.
That was a major checkup there, and it almost costed Scott, Chase, Ellis, and Tex to wipe it out right there, but they was able to hold it together pretty good.
Yeah, they were able to hold it together pretty good. Everything's pretty much calmed down right now. Everyone's kind of found their place. Right now, it looks as if, I'm looking through our pit sheet right now, Jacob Bradley is right now the best car on track that did not pit. Cluse going to be trying to make it now a top 6 of cars that pitted. And 42 going really slow on the bottom.
I'm going to tell you, Joe, Chris, he's got the lead, but he's got Randy right there with him. Him, Randy, Johnny, Brandon, the new tires are coming into a major effect. And, we're fixing to see a good little battle, those top 4 positions, each with each other, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, battling it out.
I'll tell you who I'm pulling for. I'm pulling for Chris. I would like to see Chris win. Hasn't really had the best results, and I'm pretty sure he would love to get into victory lane today. Randy Bechtel, I'll tell you what though, he's pushing hard on the inside. maybe making the 28 over push just a little bit. We got a slow car on the apron. That's going to be the 42. Randy looking on the inside, but just not able to get the run. But he is not really losing much time either. He'll get about halfway on the side and nearly chops him off. Be careful there, Randy. You got a land yacht there with the Chevrolets.
Chris and Randy, they ain't leaving nothing left on the table. We broke down 25 to go, and it's going to be a dogfight these next 23 laps.
Yeah, 28. He just scrubbed up a little bit as he was passing Larry Poling, who is multiple laps down. Got the 42 running on the apron still. Must be under power. So we're going to be having some lap cars coming into the question now. We got Joe McDory, who is going to be first car going a lap down. Then it looks like Bruce Pearson, Tarrant Hill, and Corey Dyeron. The only person that is on the lead lap in that group is Bruce Pearson, who has been hanging on by a thread for a good portion of the race.
And you know, Joe, he's driving like his license rating matters. So he's hanging in there.
Who's driving like their thing matters?
Bruce Pierce. He's sitting
Bruce
at a 4.99 on his license rating. So that's a major shout out. Even though it's not affected in league races, he's acting like he's protecting it for all it's worth.
I mean, yeah, he's been doing really good today. Just unfortunately for him, just has not had the speed, but he's had a few really good breaks. Josh Tarrant Hill will take down the inside, and look who's coming. We got Brandon Sox, and the 28 in the wall just a little bit. Might be going 3 wide down the backstretch. I don't think the 18 is going to have the speed to clear, but they are going to be side by side, and maybe if they get into those lap cars, you're just hoping that the lap car does not pick you to block.
Yeah, that's the major thing. I mean, both of them, they're running side by side, Chris and Randy both. And you've got the 15 of Bruce, you know.
Brandon almost lost it. Sorry for cutting you off there. Continue, though.
Yeah, I saw that. He was almost sideways coming across that start finish. But, you know, you've got Bruce. He's trying to get low out of the way. And, you know, he stays low out of the way. That's going to choke up Randy right there.
Yeah, slowed him down just a little bit, but not really enough to disengage from this side-by-side battle. And one person that really likes to see this is Brandon Sox, because Brandon Sox really took the opportunity to get up really close to these guys. You know, just looking a couple of laps ago, like lap 180 or 175, he was pretty far back compared to where they are right now. But looking at the times that everyone is pulling, they pulled last lap within a thousandth of each other.
And I'm gonna tell you there, Randy just lost a position, and he was used as the pick.
Yeah, that's what I mean by those lap cars. Those lap cars cannot be your friend sometime. So now with these two wearing each other out, you know, Brandon is getting a little bit loose coming off these corners. But I think Brandon is going to be the freshest guy right now. We're on lap 189 of 200. And I'll tell you what, Smith is going to not give him an inch. Yeah. Oh, nearly into the side. They net coated just a little bit.
Yeah, this is where it's coming down to, where there's nothing left. These three right here, they ain't giving nothing. They're going to leave it all at Bristol. They're either going to leave it in the wall or they're going to leave it on the infield. But you know what? This right here is these next 10 laps, man. I'm going to tell you what. This is going to be a battle to the finish between these three.
Yeah, it's 28 of Smith nearly got in the wall. You saw the rear end just kind of kick out just a slight bit. But we see Brandon Sox now trying to make the pass on the bottom. But that's leaving him vulnerable to get passed by the 18, who is in the marbles almost. And it's going to affect Brandon Sox now. And these two side by side, that's what Chris Smith wants to see. It's going to allow him to get out to a farther lead. And if these guys can stay side by side for the next few laps, that is exactly what he wants to see. But he does not want to see Randy getting in the wall, because that's going to allow Brandon Sox to kind of regroup now. He is a little bit farther back, but he is running hard, I'll tell you that.
I mean, you've got this battle right here going to the front, but there's a heck of a one going on right now between Ellis and that bounced off of him, between Ellis and Scott Tompkins right now. They've been battling it out for that 12th and 13th position.
And you know what? Don't count out Johnny Rapp either, because he is pulling the fast lap as well. We got 28 controlling the pace. But if anything happens between these three, Johnny Rapp might be there to pick up the scraps. We got 5 laps to go now. Sox a little loose off the bottom, and it's going to allow the 28 and maybe the 18 to get out as well. But yeah, that 28. If I'm in that car, I'm just saying, please, just stay side by side, keep messing each other up. But Randy may have a little bit of more of a chance. 4 laps to go now.
Randy, I mean, they're on equal tires, so now it's coming down to a driving style. Who's going to be able to control what?
Little loose. Chris Smith got a little loose, and Randy, I don't know if he's going to be able to clear. Randy might have had him clear, but did not take the opportunity to get up there. So Chris Smith may just have been saved by the 18 not wanting to take that high side. Going to have 2 laps to go now, and Chris Smith is starting to wiggle coming out of the corners just a little bit. He led that lap just barely. And I think Chris Smith, if he can just hold up on the top, he might be able to win this race.
Yeah, these two right here. Wow, this is going to come down to, I hope somebody's got a Polaroid, because, Randy just took
car
that
around. No caution, and Chris Smith and Randy just barely got through it. Randy did not pinch him up there down to the end of the race, and it looks like off the high side, Chris Smith is going to win. And I bet his heart dropped coming out of turn number 1 with that car facing him. Oh my goodness.
And I think Brandon Sox may have got caught up in that, because he dropped all the way down to 16th. But oh my God.
I'm telling you this. I mean, I would have, I may not have been the kind of person to give that kind of room like Randy did, but very, very lucky that Chris Smith did not get involved in that. That was Scott Tompkins who was around, and looking around, he didn't. He did manage to get off the track. So Scott Tompkins, lucky for him, did not take anybody with him.
I'll tell you what, that last lap, we're going to ride with Chris Smith. That was pretty close on that wreck.
Yeah, let's take a look. So here we are coming down the white flag. If that would have been the last lap, Bechtel would have won. But coming through here, he sees that car, thankfully just stays on the brakes, and yeah, that could have been a wild finish.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take it to the last commercial break, and we're going to get our top 3 up here for the night.
Missed a black flag? Forgotten what gear you're in? Rollins Sim Control has a fix for that. We provide drivers with a unique LED flag and gear indicator box that provides drivers more visual awareness even during their toughest of races. Our SC makes a variety of flight controls and button boxes as well. Find out more at etsy.com/shop/Rollins Sim Controls.
Well, all right, we're gonna do a shout out real quick. We're gonna get up there with Mr. Johnny Rapp, who came in third tonight. My dark horse pick for it, Joe. So I'm kind
I'll let
of a little
I'll let you
thrilled
get this
about
one.
it.
You get this one, I'll get the other two.
That'll work. Mr. Johnny, Joe Jeremy up here in the booth, man. You got a copy. He's shell shocked. He's surprised he's won.
Johnny Rapp, you there? All right, well, we'll get back to him later then. If he is not there, we'll try again.
Send him back down there. We'll get
All
the
right.
P2 up here, Mr. Randy.
Randy, this is Joe and Jeremy. You got.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, first place last week and second this week. You had a great battle with Chris and Brandon. Tell us about your race.
It was pretty tough for me. These cars are kind of rough to drive around here, and they're so tight. And of course, if you overdrive it, you'll get loose, burn that right rear up. Which at the end there, it's going for all right. Just drive it like you stole it, and I think that's what everybody up there was doing. Uh, that bottom line, I could get runs on Chris. I just couldn't quite get around him. So, congrats to Chris on a win. P2's not bad though.
Yeah, it is a pretty good finish. And I was actually wondering what happened to Brandon. I think he may have ran out of fuel because you and him were running really good together. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Sox just dropped off the face of the earth and was 7 laps down. But I'll tell you what, pretty good for your championship hopes because you finished in second, and Justin Wilson didn't have a great day either. He finished in ninth.
Yeah, his tire strategy didn't quite work. He was hoping that long run with the yellow, the second last yellow, I believe. But sometimes you get lucky, then you don't get lucky. That's how it's always been. And he got unlucky, and I got lucky.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a pretty good championship decider next week. So you looking forward to the fairgrounds?
It should be kind of fun. Assuming there might be a few more cautions there than in Bristol, but I've never run them at the 87 there, so
I'll tell you what, it's pretty fun.
I've only ran the trucks, and that was wasn't the best, but I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, we will see. By the way, you are teammates with Justin, correct?
Yes.
Just wondering, because I saw this happen at the end of the race. Did Chris Schoen do something to Justin that made him unhappy? Because I know he tried to spin him out, maybe coming into the pits, and he spun himself out.
I think Chris kind of pitted him behind a lap car, trying to get around him on point. I could be wrong though.
I mean, hey, that's just a good strategy in my opinion. But hey, good run today, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what you can do for the final race next week.
Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
You too.
All right, I think we got a hold of Johnny. Chris, you're just gonna have to wait for a minute and celebrate here in a minute. See if we can get Johnny up here, who got that P3 finish. Johnny, let's try it again. You got a copy?
Yeah, got you now.
There he is. Well, I'm gonna throw it out there. You was my dark horse pick to win tonight. Top three. I'll settle real good with it. Those last few laps, man. What was going through your head with all that fighting going on in front of you?
Well, I mean, obviously, I was just hoping they put each other in the wall or something. But I think I don't know if I would have saved my tires a little better. I, I mean, I hung with them and I was sending it. So if I would have saved a little bit, I probably could have got there because they were racing the whole time, you know. But still happy where I finished. I don't know what happened with Socks. He got a little loose and looked like maybe he pulled off. I don't know, but it probably would have been fourth, but I'll take a third.
I'll take the third too. So I'm pretty happy with how you finished. But I mean, going into fairgrounds next week, I mean, it's a whole lot smaller than Bristol. We're gonna have the same amount of cars. What's your mindset gonna be for that?
Yeah, I've never ran a lap there, so we're gonna hope for the best. I don't know. Sometimes new tracks for me, I just do okay at. Some of them, nah, I don't. So we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on that top three amongst this field here. That's pretty stacked. That's a pretty good accomplishment. So, hey, hold your head up high for this one tonight.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. I am, you know.
Well, in top three, you're gonna get a few of those shout outs. They're gonna be yours, man.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, like to thank my teammates. You know, Randy, Justin, Chase, Eric, Chris, and Scott, and you guys for putting the show on, and Ellis and everyone that runs the league. Uh, been a blast. So uh, yeah, that's about it.
I'm pretty sure Payday Racing's pretty happy right now. So,
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, really, it's the first race they lost, so they should be a little upset, right? But still had a strong showing, especially from Justin and Randy. So, you know, shout out to them.
Yeah, dang nabbit, I forgot to get Randy his shout outs.
He
he's
probably would have
had
said about the
plenty.
same thing I did.
He's had plenty all season. We'll get him next week if he gets up there.
All right. Well, let's bring in the winner, which would be Chris Smith. And good run today, Johnny.
Thank you.
All right, Chris Smith. Yeah, won the race. How does that feel, man? It was a tough win. You had a lot of battle in between Brandon and a lot of battle in between Randy. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Yeah, it was good. We kind of made a Ellis, my teammate, and I were kind of going back and forth on the pit call there at the end, and he decided to go one way, I decided to go another way. We figured that hey, if we're both gonna do two different strategies, maybe one of them will come out on top here. And so got lucky and got through the traffic unscathed, and had a great battle to the checker flag. It was a lot of fun racing with those guys. They raced me really clean, and I think it was a good show.
Last lap, the 25 spins out. What are you thinking when you see that?
Well, the way that this track is, a lot of people pile into wrecks a long ways after they happen because it's hard to see with the banking. And I was talking with Randy. We both didn't see Scott until we were almost like right on top of him. And luckily, Randy pulled down and gave me plenty of room, which he didn't have to do. He could have, pinned me a little bit higher and pushed me into the wreck. And he gave me room, and I really appreciate that.
All right. Well, you did have a really good run today. You were maybe someone that we a dark horse that we may have overlooked because you were doing really good in practice, but just didn't have a good qualifying run. But 13th to first, really good run, and yeah, I think it's your first time in the booth. So, what do you got for your shout outs?
Yeah, I want to thank Premier Racing Setups and Apex Energy, all of our partners that have come on this season. without their support, we wouldn't be able to do this deal. I want to thank my teammate and co-owner of the league, Ellis Thomas. Ellis and I sort of envisioned this thing, and to be honest with you, Ellis has done all the work because I've been trying to finish my master's. So I want to give him a shout out and thank him for all he's done. I want to thank my other teammate, Paul Thomas, as well. All these guys, I thought that tonight was probably our best race of the season, as far as from a show standpoint and with clean racing. So I want to thank all of them for showing up, and I want to thank you guys for the great work that y'all do.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, Nashville Fairgrounds next week, final race of the season. So we'll see if you can pull off 2 in a row. And we look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good night.
It looks like we got Ellis Thomas down there waiting. So we're going to see if he needs anything.
Or Johnny, do you mind just
Hi,
grab
Ellis.
a couple shots to throw up on? Oh, I'm here.
Yes, you are here. Hi, we saw you in the waiting room. We were wondering if you had anything to say.
No, I was just talking to the guys, but hey, great race tonight. Great job to Chris. Clean racing. I think it was the best race of the season, and we're glad to have our partners like Apex Energy, Premier Racing Setups, UD Awards, Martin Sports. We're very lucky, and we're lucky to have you guys broadcasting tonight.
Thank you very much, and we'll be looking forward to the championship race next week. Should be a lot of fun.
Nashville Fairgrounds.
Should be pretty close, too.
Oh, I hope so. Hopefully it's as good as this race.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you two next week.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, Jeremy. What do you got for us for the final bit of the race or final bit of the broadcast?
Well, I mean, tonight was in Bristol. We were expecting a whole lot more cautions than what we actually had. I mean, I was expecting at least 15 or plus. I mean, we didn't even
Oh,
break
come
into the
on, that
double
many?
digits. Yeah, Bristol, man. It's Bristol and the land barges. You thinking it was going to be a whole lot more, but, it didn't. And it was, like Chris and Ellis both said, one of the best races of the season, I've honestly got to say so far. So if they done this at Bristol next week at Nashville, man, it's going to be wild there at the fairgrounds.
Could be a lot of fun. Well, it's nice to step in the Richards role today. Hopefully we'll see him back next week. Not really sure exactly what he has going on, but yeah, hopefully everything is good with him. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him back next week for the championship, hopefully.
Yeah, most definitely. And, these guys are picking back up with their next gen series starting August, I believe it's the 24th. So look them up on Facebook, get into it, and if you got what it takes for these guys, just sign on up, and we'll see y'all next season.
Do we have the broadcast for that?
We most definitely do. So we're gonna catch a full 15 series of next gen here on SBRN that will be going live on Roku when the season starts.
That sounds great. Well, I think all I have to say is a great race. Someone who I pretty much did not expect to win today definitely gave us a very nice surprise and got his first win in the 87s. And we'll be looking forward to seeing y'all next week for the final race. Jeremy, why don't you shut her down?
I actually had myself muted there for a second, but you know what? On behalf of myself, Joe, and if you have not looked them up yet, look them up on Facebook, the Sim Racing Network, and make sure you're following us on social medias because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's fixing to happen with SBRN, SlingShot Racing League, the Sim Racing Network. So if you want to stay up to date with it, follow it. Hit that little purple button where you ain't caught up like Dr. Shakaloo was and got 7 minutes of ads in the last 5 laps. But
ouch.
Yeah, he missed the good part of it. But Twitch, they take control when they want. unfortunate events. But on behalf of myself, Joe, Richard, we hope everything's good tonight. We will catch y'all next week at the fairgrounds and see who carries that UD Awards tire trophy home.